Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Vinland Saga Season 2 episode number 17 reaction. Okay, the previous episode, quite a few things happened. First of all, Arnheid and Gardar, they not both, but Arnheid came back while keeping Gardar hidden in Spherical's place. Now obviously Snake is sitting there trying to find to like whenever Gardar will come he'll get him, and not keeping an and keeping an eye on Arnheid is being used as a bait, but obviously he doesn't know that Gardar is actually there in the same place that he is sitting down. So later on, Einar and Thorfinn have a conversation with her, and they decide to actually help her aid in escaping. And Einar becomes a decoy, as he kind of dresses up as Gardar and kind of lures them away, the men away, Snake away, while Thorfinn alongside Arnheid tries to take Gardar and run. However, Snake comes back after realizing that there must be something wrong. And now Thorfinn has to make a decision. Will he actually try to protect his whole decision of being non-violent, or will he have to actually fight against Snake? And he decides to fight, because this time he's fighting not to take a life but protect a life. So in this situation, obviously, he's obviously, you don't need to take Snake's life. All you can do is just defend and protect yourself and stop Snake. So let's see what happens in this episode. This is episode number 17. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Here we go. Okay. Oh, oh. Yeah, and he's using a sword. Not a sword, but like a falchion. Oh, okay. Yeah, he is actually trying to. Yep. Well, he is the son of Thor's. Yeah, and Ashlad also taught him, so. Okay. Oh. Oh, he actually connect out. Damn. Yo. Oh. Oh my god. Yo, his head would have gone if there was a few centimeters. Well, Thorfinn's way more impressive. Yeah, true. That's a question. I also thought, why is Snake here? Oh! Damn! Yo! Okay, this is too cool. Oh no! Oh! Yeah. Oh! Damn. Oh no, yeah, that's true. Oh no. Oh, he's distracted. Come on, Thorfinn. Oh boy. Yeah. No, that's not the point. He's trying to, yeah, he's like, I can understand what he's trying to say, but still. Like he were his people and his friends, you know? They were pals. What? Oh, oh boy. Oh, oh no! Wait. Oh no, he actually stabbed him. Oh no, he's dead. Oh. This is a problem, you know, like if people keep doing this, it keeps being a cycle. Oh my god! Oh no, he's gonna break his neck. Oh no. Yeah, oh my god. Wait, he. Ugh. Oh no! Come on, Thorfinn! Thorfinn, stop! Go! He's not conscious. This is like I doubt he's conscious. He's gone completely. Like this is like his instincts. Come on, Arnite. I feel like she's the only one who can do something here. Oh my god. How is he alive? I'm still. Probably his muscles. It stopped it. He's actually alive. Or probably he's like at the verge of death or something. Oh yeah, he's bleeding out again. Yeah, he's not surviving. He'll probably die here. He's like in a very. Oh my god. Oh no. What was? Yeah. Like they won't be able to go much because he's losing blood. Oh, is this is the end? Yeah. Oh wow. Abandoned by God. Oh, his car stopped. Now he'll have to walk just like them. Oh, it's him. No, it's stop crying. Oh, and then they're making the boats, the ships to go, and oh my god. Yeah, and then this when he was enslaved. Oh no, this is the. Oh, he's seeing himself. I feel like he probably suspects that Yalti is like, I don't know. Um, maybe not. Oh, Wow, so he was one. What? Yeah, putting. Oh my god, what type of messed up thing is that? Mhm. Yeah. Mm. He realizes what the mistake that he did. Like as he said, for wealth and for power. No, for wealth and for honor. Nobody needs that for their modest lifestyle. Oh, that's it. What's happening? The the day when he decided to leave, and he never looked back then. Now he's seeing this from his perspective, this perspective. Back then he never looked back. Yep, he never looked back. And now he's looking at her, his wife, like what face she made at that moment. He's realizing that. Or he'll probably see her making the same face. He's free. Oh, it's healthy. Oh my god. Oh, yeah. because he's not alive anymore. The reunion, but yeah, Arnott is not here because she's still alive. Oh, they found her. Oh God. Well, yes, it was a matter of time. Oh, like he was finally able to be free as he died. Like unless and until he was free, he wouldn't be able to go back home. And yeah, he finally became free, and that's why he's like, I'm back. Like if you think about it, like like all throughout his life, definitely like everything. There's so many things that shackle you, and obviously his whole thought process and the way he looked at the world was, at least at that point, what he thought was, oh, if I go do this expedition, we'll get fame, we'll get money, my family will be fine. But that made him not look back and see what's going on, how his wife is taking it. Like that honor, that wealth shackled him, I guess you could say, in a way. And then obviously he became a slave, and if, like up until the end he was shackled, but when he lost his life, that's it. In the end, when he lost his life, yeah, all those shackles were gone, and he was finally able to be free. And yeah, he goes back home as soon as he's free. And oh God. Wow, this episode was, yeah, it was something. Damn. Like I started watching this episode expecting like some, obviously we got a little bit of like, like crazy, like, cool, like, like fight scene and everything. But then, in the end we get like a like a bucket full of feelings. Oh, wow. All right. So we begin this episode with Orphan against Snake, and both of them are obviously very talented. Snake is, like using his way of battle. Like it's interesting to see how, like, different his way of sword play is, because he's using not a, like, like a sword or like a katana. He's using a curved blade, like a falchion or something like that, where he's grabbing it like this. I think it's kind of like fencing, isn't it? The way he was kind of like, like attacking like this. I've seen that in fencing, like the way he's fighting. And obviously, since it's a curved blade and this way of swords play, he probably has learned from where he came. And he, like, fast and precise attacks. Like he was just grabbing it like this or something, and like just doing, like, attacking like this. And Thorfinn, obviously, him dodging each and every blow. The funny part about this whole scene is that both Thorfinn and Snake were thinking about the same thing about each other. Snake was like, damn, he's strong. Thorfinn is like, damn, he's strong. Snake is like, oh, I can imagine what he went through. He's so strong, so I can imagine what hell he was in. while Thorfinn is like, I can't even imagine how he's like, like a bodyguard with his level of skill. He must have gone through a lot of things in his life. Like both of them were like thinking the same thing while fighting about each other. That was really like interesting. And obviously the battle, like like it was a very cool battle scene. It's been a while we've seen Thorfinn fight, and like we can see him barehandedly fight this guy who has a sword, and like Thorfinn actually like kind of like connected a few punches. Like I think like over here in the stomach, while he also connected a few sword slashes. Like one almost went through his head. Thankfully it did not, but it scratched a little bit of his cheek and blood was flowing. So, but you know what? If I had to judge, I would probably say that Thorfinn is a little bit more stronger than Snake, because like he was fighting barehanded. Like first and foremost, that's a big disadvantage he has. Like not only does have Snake like advantage of long range because he's using a sword, but he has like a killing like like tool in his hand. If Thorfinn connects one or two punches, obviously that's not going to kill Snake, but if he connects one or two proper slashes, Thorfinn might probably die. So like thinking of all of that, like when judging this whole battle, I'll say Thorfinn was a bit more stronger than Snake because he was fighting at a disadvantage. Like he was, and the thing is, Thorfinn was actually protecting Gardar. He was keeping his position, like over there, and not moving from that place, so that he doesn't go and attack Gardar. In the end, he does kind of like like come a little bit like like away from there, and he gets closer to Gardar's Snake. But up until the like that point, he was even defending someone. So all included, I'll have to say that Thorfinn is a lot more stronger than Snake. Now another thing I feel like is the reason why Thorfinn is so much more stronger is because he's actually working every day. Like yeah, I'm not saying that Snake doesn't train. I'm sure Snake trains. He probably does like 100 push-ups every day. I don't know. But Thorfinn is every day he's farming, cutting trees, and like it's like hard work, While Snake probably he just trains, I don't know, like maybe 2 or 3 hours a day. Probably does a little bit of sword fighting practice, and that's all he does. While Thorfinn is just like hard work every day, like 7 to 8 hours continuously. Like yeah, Thorfinn's stamina and everything is way more here than Snake's, who like who isn't really getting into that type of crazy situations. So like all included, like in this battle, I'll have to probably say that Thorfinn wins. Like if you look at this in a very like neutral standpoint, like yeah, Thorfinn wins by a mile. He doesn't have a sword. He's using his fists to defend, and yeah, like there you go. But anyways, that's not the point of the fight. The point of the fight was Thorfinn protecting Gardar. So like this whole thing continues, and in the end, Snake kind of goes more towards Gardar and closes the distance. Thorfinn realizes he made a mistake, and like Snake looks behind and looks at Gardar. Now here, when Thorfinn was like Snake, stop, don't do it. Arnite comes up and Arnite is like, please, Mr. Snake, please like leave him, like don't like take his life, like I beg you. And even Sverkel is like Snake, like I'm going to give you everything, my farm, whatever you need. So please, can you please forgive? Now here at this point, I was like, no, it's not. That's not the reason why he's going this far. Obviously, you can understand that. Yeah, he doesn't care about the farm or anything. Like he's doing this for his men. Now, like we don't know Snake's past, what like he went through, and like his backstory and all that. But one thing we can probably tell is him and his men are definitely like like a team for a long time. They're probably together for a long time, like doing their stuff, doing these mercenary bodyguard jobs, and they're like a family. So for him, they are irreplaceable. And it's not the question of, oh, like I lost my men, yeah, you know what, if I can get your farm, I'll forgive you. It's not a question of any of that. It's more of a like like a thing from the inside. He wants revenge, you know, and he wants to get like like kill Gardar because of that. And again, like this is a scene we're so familiar with the whole thing that happened with Thorfinn, like the whole revenge thing. Like it's crazy how like the whole thing was repeating here again, and the cycle was like starting again, because it started with Gardar killing their men, and then he's like, I'm going to kill Gardar, almost kills him, and then after he stabs Gardar, he's like, what are you going to do now? Will you try to take my life? Will you try to avenge Gardar now, Thorfinn? So yeah, like that again. It's a scene we've seen so many times. Thorfinn is very familiar with this, you know, and it's just like, oh, this person did this, so I'm going to kill this person, and that person's loved one, they're like, oh, you did this, I'm going to take my revenge on you, and it continues this whole cycle of revenge and this whole thing. Thorfinn wants to break this, and obviously this situation is too familiar to him, seeing what happens here. So Snake is obviously not happy about this. Snake is like, yeah, they're my family. Like whatever their background is, wherever they came from, they were my people, and he took the life of 5 men. I don't think any amount of money or any amount of farmland is going to like is going to compensate that. And he says like the cost of life should be paid by life, can only be paid with life. And he attacks Gardar. Now here, I'm not exactly sure what happened here. I think he pierced his like torso, and like it did look like the way he pierced it was quite shallow. Like the sword wasn't really like going that deep. But I guess he thought that Gardar died with that, because he's almost half dead already. So he takes it out, and obviously seeing this scene, Arnheid falls down. Thorfinn is just like looking down, and Snake is like, so what are you going to do, Thorfinn? Are you going to take revenge now for this? And here he's like, okay, so whatever you did, you were in the wrong. So before like the master comes back, you will be tied up. And while he's saying all of this, Gardar gets up. Now I'm guessing that stab actually made him conscious. Like that stab that he did, it actually knocked brought him out from his unconsciousness. Like it was probably a bit shallow for him to actually die at that moment, and that pain brought his senses up. And like the kind of like a shock therapy, I don't know like if I can equate that to this, but it kind of reminds me of that. Like he suddenly came up, and he gets up and grabs him by the throat, and oh my god, yeah, he's a strong man. Like if he grabs you from the back like this, it's over. It's over. And yeah, like Snake almost just like chokes, almost like dies here. Thorfinn tries to take his hands out, but yeah, Gardar is too strong. Arnheid is like the only one who can do something here, so Arnheid comes up, and Arnheid is like, Gardar, it's okay, like it's fine, like everything is okay now. Let's go home. Let's go back home to Hjalti. And when she says all of this, you can see that Gardar wakes up properly in this situation, and he looks at Arnheid, and he's like, okay. And Snake falls down. Obviously I'm pretty sure Snake is unconscious, but I'm pretty sure he's fine. He probably didn't die, but yeah, so he's now actually conscious now, like almost falling unconscious, but still conscious. He can see what's going on, and he's very calm. Obviously, he's like, you over there, like points at Thorfinn. Is this your card? Can you please give this to us? And Svekel is like, oh, this is actually my card. And he's like, oh, sorry for talking from a higher up platform, but what is your name? And he's like, oh, my name is Spherical. And he's like, so Mr. Spherical, can you please give this? And he's like, yeah, I'm going to give it to you. Like, take it and be free. Take your wife and just go. And you can see Thorfinn here in this situation is looking at Arnheid, and Thorfinn's like, this is reckless. Because obviously, everyone knows that here in this situation that they won't be able to go much far. Like, Gardar is dying. And in this situation, I'm pretty sure even if they like actually try to make clean his wounds and properly try to treat him, he'll still die because he has lost a lot of blood. In no way is he surviving. So at this point, like just before this, you could see that like they were somehow able to keep Gardar alive, but then again he got stabbed, by a snake, and he's losing blood every second. So this was probably like a done deal. You can probably guess here that even if they start treating him from this point onwards, he still probably wouldn't survive because he's just lost too much blood. Obviously, like if this was like the modern day, I guess you could probably keep him alive by putting kind of supplying him with more blood, and like actually treating him, taking him to a hospital and treating him. He probably could have been saved. But this is way back in those days, like, yeah, like in no way are you surviving in this situation. Like, it's over. Arnheid knows that he's probably going to die after a few hours. So does Spherical knows, but at the same time, yeah, it's like, if you want to, you can leave. And this is something that Gardar always wanted, and Arnheid also probably knows what she has to face, and like the inevitable future that she'll have to face from here onwards. But she's still like, yeah, it's fine, Thorfinn. And she takes Gardar and goes on the journey, and this part was very calm and very peaceful, very beautiful. Like, they're like going through the field, a lot of grass and a lot of crops, I think. And here now a very interesting thing happens. He kind of starts seeing visions of probably him going towards the afterlife. Like, he looks at like everything, the sky is blue, like the whole the ambience and everything, the whole color shade of this scene here turns blue, and he sees that he is the only one on the cart, and the horse is moving. He's sitting there. The clouds are actually parted, you can see, and he's on his way towards the afterlife. Now, from here onwards, this is just my interpretation. I'm not exactly sure if this is what they're trying to say, but I'm going to share what I thought and what I felt about the scene from here onwards. I might be wrong, I'm not exactly sure, because I feel like this is like a scene which a lot of people can interpret in a lot of ways. Maybe like there's a correct way of interpretation. I might not be right, but this is what I feel, what they were trying to show by this scene. He was going, like I said, he was going towards the afterlife. And if you remember, this is, like they're Norsemen, and Norsemen, they like, they I think they obviously they think that like their afterlife is like Valhalla, I think. And like they think that like when they're going to die, they think that Valkyries are going to come down and take them away, and unless and until someone dies in a battlefield, they're not going to Valhalla, something like that. So he's a Norseman, isn't he? I think so. Wait, where did he say that he lived? I forgot. Was it Sweden? No, I don't remember where he said he lived, but I'm pretty sure he's a Norseman. Yeah, he's a Viking, isn't he? Yeah, he's a Viking. So he's like, I'm cold to my core. And you can see while he's going on the cart, he sees a lot of people there, just standing, like in a queue, just waiting, trying to go to the afterlife, I think. And he's the only one in a cart, and he looks at them, and you can see all of them has like a, I think like a what do you call it, the rope connected to their neck. And he looks at them and he's like, how miserable. Such unfortunate men abandoned by the gods. And yeah, because they're all standing while he's like, like going on a cart. And like, as if to just, like counter his whole statement, his cart stops. Then. Or wait, or did he stop the cart? Oh, I think he stopped the cart, never mind. And he looks down and sees two two people. One of them is him. And he looks at him, his hands tied, like, so I don't know, like, in my interpretation, I'm guessing the ones, like everyone, the ones who were standing, trying to go to heaven, them having the rope in their neck is probably an indication of the shackles of people, like the mortal shackles, or like not mortal shackles, never mind, the shackles of, I don't know, like everything that the people have, like, that stop them from being free, like desires, like these type of things. For example, for him, what was shackling him down was probably like, I don't know, like, yeah, I feel like this part is a little bit difficult to kind of interpret. If you have a better way of explaining, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I think like those were like shackles that were like shackles of desires that were actually still connected to the earth. That is why they were not able to ascend to heaven or something like that. I don't know. While he was going on the cart and he's like, oh, how miserable people, but then he looks at all of them and sees that he's also over there. And he's like coming back, going out, coming back, going out, like his like consciousness. And you can see that the cart, it kind of like in a bump on the road, it kind of just shakes a little bit and makes a noise that wakes him up from that daze, and he's back to reality now again, and he looks at his side. Arnheid is there, just worn down, just looking down, and he realizes what's going on. He's back in the real world. Like, this is what I was saying, he's like going back and forth, back and forth. That was what was happening. The cart and the rocking cart was the one that was bringing him back here, and he was going back again. So he kind of smiles a little bit looking at Arnheid, because and yeah, so he looks at like a little, I think, dandelion flower on his hand, and he remembers Hjalti. He remembers when he was born, and he remembers what he said to him. He's like, oh, like, Hjalti, your father will fight for you, for honor, so you can be proud of him, for wealth that will someday be yours. Here you go. This, stuff that they never needed. They didn't need wealth or money to live a happy life. But yeah. And then you can see like little scenes of him interacting with Hjalti. When there was like one scene where Hjalti is crying, and he tries to comfort him, and he doesn't know what to do. Arnheid is just there, sitting down with Hjalti. And yeah, then Hjalti like smiles at him. And then he sees that Hjalti is able to walk, kind of like falls down almost. All these scenes from the past we can see, like of a happy family. Both Arnheid and Einar, Gardar are laughing. And yeah, next scene we see him trying to change the diaper of Hjalti, and he just pees all over him. And in that situation, Hjalti comes out, and he's able to walk properly. And looking at that, Arnheid is laughing, smiling. And yeah, and Gardar is also happy, smiling, looking at that. And we're back to reality again. His like blood is coming out, dripping. He's almost dying. And then we're back to that part again. Now here we can see that he's defeated, like, someone, and he comes back to Hjalti, kind of like, kind of just puts his hand on his face, like blood all over. And yeah, and then he sees that guy. I think it's like his previous master, him whipping him at the side of the road. And it's interesting to see that that guy, his previous master, he has like blood over here, which I guess indicates the wound that Gardar gave him when he killed him. That indicates that. So okay, and he's back again, and in his mouth he's like saying, for wealth and for honor. Arnheid is like, Gardar, what's wrong? Gardar then, okay, it's like, how old is Yalti now? And he's like, oh, is he 10, 11? And Arnheid is like, no, he's 6. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I like the slavery, it rattled my mind. I had no sense of time. And he's like, oh, I like, missed the part of his childhood that he was so cute, like I left when he was 1, and there's so many things that I missed. And he's like, I wonder if he remembers us. Talks about putting a horse's tail in fire. I'm like, who does that? Horse's tail on fire. That caught me off guard actually when he suddenly brought that up. It even caught Arnheid off guard. She's like, what did you do? Okay. And he's like, when he's probably going to grow up, he'll probably say like he wants to go adventuring. I'm going to be a Viking, like all boys do. But then he says like, I'm not, I'm going to stop him. And this part surprises Arnheid because she realizes that, yeah, this is definitely not what the previous Gardar would say. Like, after everything that he went through, he now realizes what is important in life. And yeah, for honor, for fame, who needs that? Just, if you're happy with your current life, just keep leading that life. And he then falls on her lap, and he's like, I'm tired, Arnheid. Can I rest? Arnheid is crying. And here you can see that he kind of is seeing like scenes again, visions, like, when you're dying, this happens. And he sees himself, the scene where he left Arnheid and Hjalti to go out to fight. He's seeing that scene. And this part is so impactful because you can see how the previous Gardar never really looked back. You can see he's just standing there and he's like, oh, come on, let's go. And he never looks back. If he looked back once at least, he would see what face Arnheid was making here. And here, now that he's dying almost, he's looking at him making that decision. And he realizes what's going on. He looks at Arnheid and he sees her face. He sees what face she's making. The thing that she never knew. He never knew before. He never realized before when he went off to fight. Yeah, and he sees him just leave without even looking back. And he tries to stop him, but, it's over. He wakes up again. And he's like, Arnheid, Hjalti. Okay. Okay, he says that I won't leave you again from here onwards. Like, because he just saw that scene, he realizes what he should have done a long time ago. But yeah. And Arnheid starts crying, and that, like, obviously at that moment he's like almost dying, And in his vision, he's seeing that he's on the cart, and the tears that are falling from Arnheid's eyes to his face, he thinks that it's raining. He wakes up and he sees like a beautiful world, just like open, vast, like like fields. He's using like the cart to move, and he's very happy. He goes back to his house. He's running, like the freedom he was able to acquire. And he runs and he finally finds Yalti sitting there. Obviously, because Yalti is also. I'm guessing this kind of like this probably kind of confirms that Yalti also died. Like, yeah, it was obvious. Like, there was still like a part of me that was thinking like, oh, maybe they sold him or something, and he's also a slave somewhere still alive. But I feel like this scene kind of confirms that no, Hjalti's also dead. Like, he's probably dead. And yeah, Hjalti here now is at, I'm guessing, 6 years old, like Arnheid said. And he looks at him, and Hjalti's happy. Hjalti goes and hugs him. And obviously, Arnheid is not there because Arnheid is still alive. And yeah, he breathes his last over here. In the end, I think he says, like, I'm back. What does he say? Just a minute. Okay, just a minute. I think that's what he says, doesn't he? Where's that part? Yeah, he says, I'm home. I'm back. And Arnheid hugs him and says, welcome home, Gardar. And while this is happening, we see people on horseback going towards them, trying to stop them. I'm guessing those are Snake's men. That's where it ended. Damn, what an episode. So yeah, he finally got his freedom. At the end of his life, and yeah, that's just what happened. And it's crazy how he realized what he should have done and what he shouldn't have done in the end, like at the end of his life. And that's why he said, like, oh, if my son says that I'm going to become a Viking, I'm going to stop him. Like, yeah, but it's too late. Like, it's crazy. Like, this is the thing. Like, this is not really like anime or whatever. Like, this is like happens so many times in reality as well. Like, obviously, I'm not talking about Vikings and stuff, but I'm talking about like the situation. Like, people just focusing on something so much, just losing like just focusing on it so much that he or she forgets what is important in their life. Like, who are they doing this for? And in the end, they realize that when they have lost everything, that they had everything once, but trying to get something more, they embarked on that journey, losing even the things that they originally had. Like, this is what happened here. Like, Gardar had everything, like a quiet life, a happy family, everything he had. But he obviously wanted more, as he said, honor and for pride, for honor and for wealth. Now, is he wrong for trying to, like, like, was his intentions wrong? Obviously not. He wanted to get those for him and his family, which is a very noble intention. But did he need it? No, he never needed it. You remember previously Arnheid told him that, why are you doing this? Like, we have everything. Like, why are you leaving and why are you going to do this? We don't need anything else. But still he went there, to try to get something more, even though he had everything that he had. And then when he comes back, in pursuit of something more, he even lost what he had. And yeah, in the end, he realizes the worth of that and what he shouldn't have ever done. But it's too late then. And yeah, it's crazy. Like, this is just like the whole thing which Spherical also said, excessive wealth, like Kettle. Like Kettle doesn't need any more wealth, like he has so much, but he's afraid of losing it, so he's just, like that excess wealth is keeping him awake, and he's using that money to like protect that money. And yeah, like just like with what you have, the modest amount and everything, if you're happy, then that's it, you know like try to keep it that way, so that you don't lose that. And here he made that mistake, unfortunately. Not only him, but everyone over there made that mistake. And the thing is, like, Anna had nothing else she could do. Like she said, like nobody really listened to women in that day and age. Like she said something, she said like, "Oh, please don't go." They won't listen to her. They would just brush her aside. Like, so she also had nothing else to do. All she could do is just wait for her husband to come back and just pray like nothing goes wrong. But yeah, reality is often harsh. So it didn't go as she, like as she prayed and as she thought it would. Oh boy, yeah, this episode was, yeah, it was something. But I don't know what is going to happen to Arnheid here. From here onwards, I'm guessing she'll be taken back to Kettle's farm, and then what? I genuinely don't have any clue. But yeah, so that was it, guys. That was my, and I think even Thorfinn and Einar would be punished here. But you know what? I feel like it's not the time for punishment. Like a Canute's army is on the way. I just forgot about that completely. Yeah, what punishment? Yeah, Canute is coming with a goddamn army. Like there's no time for any punishment. Like good God, just yeah. Like so, let's see what happens. I'm guessing we're going to move on to Canute's section here from here onwards. Like probably Kettle is going to come back, and then I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, like Thorgil is very excited for the war or whatever that's going to happen, and it'll be a chaos, like chaotic situation from here onwards. But anyways, that was it. That was my reaction to episode number 17 of Vinland Saga season 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And yeah, that is it. Thank you for watching, guys. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Vinland Saga. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.